Hey everybody, it's Goosebumps here, and today I'm going to be The Vanishing. I don't know what the fuck to say. We're doing a Goosebumps The Vanishing episode ranking. All 8 episodes from worst to best. I really have nothing to say before we get into this ranking besides, they still haven't changed the episode titles. And that's probably going to be a whole video in itself if this goes on. It's genuinely, at this point, a little irritating. Episode 7 is supposed to be egg monsters, and episode 6 is supposed to be the ghost, not the girl next door. We're going to be referring to them as the incorrect titles. Or maybe the new correct titles. We still don't even know. Either way, we're going to be referring to them as the ones on the actual site. Let's just dive in from 8th place to 1st place. Wasting no time now. 8th place, what is the worst episode? Easily episode 4, Monster Blood. CC. Really, that's my explanation to why I do not like this episode as much as the others. And she single-handedly is the reason why this is the worst episode. Maybe double-handedly, because she does have 2 hands, but one's, trying to fight off Monster Blood with a taser. Either way, fuck me. CC, really? You really had to be such a bitch. Her character is not very good. And though she kind of gets improved by the end, it's not enough to be, for me to go like, oh, terrible situation. I get it now. Now it makes the other, part of the episode like, oh, okay, so she's not going to be annoying for the entire, she's annoying for the entire season, thank you. And the entirety of the show itself even before then. Her arc really doesn't mean much to me. And she's just an unlikable piece of shit. Just straight up, I'm sorry. I'm fine with every other thing about a character besides how fucking pricky she is. She's just an asshole with no, repercussions, and while she learns the lesson, she's still not very good at the end of the day. But I guess there's cool things like Monster Blood, and, I guess we get to see the aftermath of when they find Trey, which is kind of cool to see what comes of that, and we get the introduction of the villain, Dr. Ramona. But either way, it's kind of a meandering episode with, just building up to Monster Blood with a huge plot hole, teleporting across the fucking state. Not going to question how, but CC teleports across the state. And she's as confused as we are. The only thing I agree with that character. How the fuck do you get there? Moving on. 7th place, we have the 2nd worst or 7th best episode. Episode 5, the episode right after this one. The Boy Who Cried Monster. This is not even bad. Like, this show has a lot more good episodes than bad, but not as many high as season 1. I forgot to even say that. There's no 10 out of 10s, but there's no episodes below a 6.5, which is what I give Monster Blood. So, season 1 has lower lows, higher highs. This season just has generally okay, good episodes. Weird. It was harder to rank these, to be honest. This episode, it's kind of boring and meandering, and it's one of the obvious filler episodes, which is like, how? There wasn't too much filler. There was definitely some plot going on. Obviously built up CJ's character a little more. And we got the introduction of the cassette tape or VHS, whatever it was, that had the footage of what happened that night, which we play in the next episode. Wonder what that one will rank. Probably very high. And yeah, this episode just kind of spent a lot just kind of glazing over some things building up for the later episodes or for the next few. And it's just okay. There's really nothing notable here aside from, obviously, the fun scenes involving the eye popping out and Trey locked up... Sorry, not Trey. CJ locked up in the basement. So, yeah, I like it. But I'm not in love with it or anything. In this next episode, our 6th place, yeah, it could have been amazing, but it has some flaws. And that is the finale episode. Number 8, episode 8, Invasion of the Body Squeezers. Yeah, this episode has some plot structure related issues, and it really it doesn't help. We'll just be honest, it is not a help for it, at all, but, it has some good things. I like the aliens' designs, I like the aliens themselves, I kind of like the idea that no one's evil. Nothing about this was evil, it's just a really scared alien. It's just like, okay, cool. I was kind of for the body squeezer idea with them pretending to be humans, which was confirmed in the novel, by the way. Those were the aliens in control of those bodies. And they are also confirmed to be called body squeezers, so yes, this is Invasion of the Body Squeezers adaptation. The genuine series files adaptation side of Hanakar. Pretty cool. Yeah, it's good. But nothing amazing due to, like I said, structural issues and just a lack of the direction in the second half, besides obviously getting the ship out of there in the first half, escaping from the pit or whatever it is. It really feels like we're having an afterthought in the second half of the episode, but the first half is like, okay, here's the real finale. Here's a bit of an afterthought like to the final 2 episodes of season 1, only not as bad and actually okay, just a little rushed. Yeah, it's fine. Moving on to number 5, this is just about the midpoint after this. We have episode 1. Yeah, the introduction episode, Stay Out of the Basement Part 1. And I think it's just pretty good. In fact, it's genuinely good. It doesn't do anything bad. I think it does a nice job introducing all the characters, and it has some nice moments, but overall, it's nothing standout. Obviously, it's the first episode, and it's going to be full of exposition dumps and ideas, but it's good. It's a good watch, and it's a great start to the series, but an okay episode in itself. Or just generally good, like I said. Nothing bad, but nothing outstanding. Just does a good job. So really nothing to say here. Moving on to number 4. Now we're getting to the juicy stuff. We have episode 3, The Haunted Car. Yeah. This episode, I actually expect to like it as much as I did, but let me tell you, I liked it as much as I did. Because, I mean, the Haunted Car. I wasn't expecting to like it, but the Haunted Car is one of the best monsters from the show. Next to the tray monster, and I guess the body squeezers, but really, the Haunted Car shocked me. I actually really liked it, and it was really fun to see it in action. It lasted way longer in the episode I thought it'd just last a couple minutes and then go off screen. No, it lasted a whole 20 minutes running around. That was fun. That was fun with all its build-up, it's all its hinting, and it was even foreshadowed in episode 2's end. Not even foreshadowed, it was directly shown. And it's just so cool. I liked the Haunted Car. I liked the build-up of Alex's character, not me, the other Alex, the girl, and I liked her relationship with Cece. It was not even hinted at, but there'd be a couple by the end of the season, but, it was there. Maybe some seeds were planted, and it was cool. I liked that episode. It was a fun time, and there's even some great jokes, like the Jeffrey Dahmer joke, which is funny because Jeffrey Dahmer jokes were also in season 1, I'm now realizing. I wonder what season 3 will have in store. Maybe Ted Bundy jokes. Either way, yeah, it was genuinely really good, but not the absolute standout of the season. And that, my friends, would be these top 3. We're starting off with number 3, episode 2, Stay Out of the Basement Part 2. Holy crap. Yeah, this episode was just really, really good. Not amazing, but it really, kicks into gear, especially in the second half. We get to see Trey trash the basement, and then it turns into this disgusting monster, which then gets all these great shots and a great fight sequence. And just, let alone, the monster design itself is horrific. It's just bloody, gory madness with black goop covering it. And of course it's in darkness, so it's not as grotesque, and it's harder to see, but it's terrifying. I'm glad it's Trey in there, because I'd be shitting my pants. And even then, Trey's an asshole, so, in a good way. He's the good asshole, unlike Cece, in my opinion. I actually like Trey's character a lot by the end of the show, especially with his redemption arc in later episodes. Trey monster, whatever you want to call him, the mud monster, the plant goop monster, the gore monster, fuck me. It is so cool. And not even just that, I like the relationship build-up we have here with Frankie, Devin, and the love triangle itself with Frankie, Devin, Trey. And yeah, overall, it's just a really good episode that moves things along and wraps up some of the ties in episode 1, as well as just, setting things up for later in the season. It's very good. Yeah. Now for our top 2. These are episodes 6 and 7, but which is better of the 2? Well, number 2 placement, we have episode 7, which I would be saying Monsters from Mars, but they haven't changed their fucking titles. So I'm saying, welcome to Camp Nightmare. Yeah, welcome to the Camp Nightmare. This is genuinely an amazing episode with some great flashbacks. The soundtrack is just scary. I mean, I love it. Whoever composed the theme that is in the flashbacks is so good. Such a good theme. And let alone the flashbacks are very interesting and very sci-fi focused, which was just an itch that was so scratched by that episode. You know what I'm saying? Very nice. And it was a very entertaining sequence nonetheless. And whilst the first half of the episode is kind of meandering, it's overall a great watch, especially when you get into that goodness. And even the ending of it, building up into that finale, is great. So yeah, really like that episode. And now, for number 1. Episode 6, The Girl Next Door. I would be saying Ghost Next Door, but they won't change their fucking titles to the correct titles. Anyways, I'm gonna fucking call you out, guys. Moving on. This episode is not perfect. I think its little breaks and the Hannah bullshit was kind of weird. I mean, the breaks weren't even that annoying. It's just like, let's move on with the good stuff. You know, the good stuff. The crack. That was the VHS shit. And that's just self-explanatory. It was both genuinely terrifying analog horror goodness, as well as being very cool in a directorial standpoint. Like, that stuff looked raw. Like, genuinely real. And probably because it was directed by some guy who was experienced with that. I believe he worked on the Blair Witch Project, what I've never seen, but I know it's very similar with the same recording style. But even that, there's some nice stuff going on in the background episode that doesn't involve the VHS, like Naomi. Weirdly enough, she kind of gets a little bit of dark moments there. Like, she doesn't realize what's happening, but they're watching, and it's dark. And the characters are very nice, and they're all in character whenever you get those scenes. But then there's the Devon subplot, which is just like, it doesn't bother me until the end, where it really doesn't make sense, because Hannah's trying to kill Devon for no reason. Let alone, it doesn't make sense unless you read the novel, which shouldn't have to be a thing, because that's so out of character. Why is she trying to kill a kid? If she, when she comes into being, says, I think we met each other before. Unless you find out by reading the novel that she's an alien, that's not a real conscious, that's a duplicate of her consciousness being controlled by aliens, you're not going to understand that. Because I was confused for so long until I read the novel. And that's not a good thing. But yeah, seriously, that's my only issue. I really love the episode, and obviously for the VHS segment in particular. Absolute banger, my favorite episode from the series. And of the whole entire Disney Plus series, saga, whatever, it's not my favorite, but it comes close. You know, it's definitely top 5 at the least. So yeah, I really enjoyed the season overall, and there's some genuinely good episodes, and not too many low lows. They're all actually okay at the worst. I just wish this season had higher highs. That's all my real complaints are. But overall, it's good. And leave your rankings down below if you want to, and I will read them, because they're probably going to be really short. There's 8 episodes, come on. And tell me which season you prefer. I personally prefer Season 2. So, there we go. Season 2 over Season 1. Not by a lot, though. It might a hot take that be, because I like Season 1 a bit. But either way, moving on. Hope you guys enjoyed this ranking video, and tell me what you guys thought down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.